Hey comic book fans, welcome back to the Comic Fix episode 41.2. In today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at 3 DC books that came out this week, starting off with Batman Detective Comics, issue number 23. Now, John Layman has been telling a story of kind of a parallel to Bruce Wayne. Now, the person that Batman's going against, his name is the Wrath. He is going and killing cops all over Gotham City. The twist is that the Wrath is just like Bruce Wayne. Where Bruce Wayne has Wayne Industries, the Wrath has Caldwell Industries. And as you're looking at this book, it's just such an interesting take that John Layman's doing. Where if you remember, when John Layman first came on, or first pitched his Detective Comics run to DC Comics, he said he wanted to focus more on the villains. And that's what you kind of got through this run that he's been doing. Now, the Wrath as a character is very interesting. And when Bruce Wayne is facing off against Mr. Caldwell in this issue, you kind of get that Bruce Wayne is looking at himself in Mr. Caldwell. I do like how Mr. Caldwell is kind of playing the political game with Bruce Wayne in this issue. Now, Mr. Caldwell, he's going in and he's trying to take over Wayne Industries. And how is he doing this? By letting newspapers know that Bruce Wayne may be thinking about selling Wayne Industries. And so it's interesting to see Mr. Caldwell try and destroy Batman from the inside. So I just look at this book as having some deeper storytelling than what you get with traditional comics. I absolutely love Jason Fabok's art in this issue, or any art that he does. He just brings this another level to this book. With John Layman's writing in here, this book is equally on par, as I believe, with Scott Snyder's Batman run. It's just giving you a different take on Batman. That's one thing I like, is that with all the DC books that they do with Batman, that have to do with Batman, they all have a different feel with them. Batman is Scott Snyder's baby, and that is the book to read if you want to get the Batman story. But if you want to get the detective side of Batman, go with Detective Comics. John Layman's doing a terrific job. Or if you want more of the psychological horror elements, go look no further than Batman the Dark Knight. So I like that DC is doing such different takes on Batman. It's not just that you're getting the same Batman story over and over again. So in the end, Detective Comics is a fun read, and it does have a foundation that is just so interesting, and I can't wait to see what John Layman has in store for Bruce Wayne and Batman. So in the end, I'm going to give Detective Comics issue number 23 a 4 out of 5. After the fun book that was Detective Comics, the next one I'll be looking at is Action Comics issue number 23. Now with Action Comics, the past 5 months, the book has not really had a writer to it. Andy Diggle was the original writer, but he had some problems with DC Comics as a whole, and he decided to leave. Now since then, the book has been going through writers. Now Scott Liddell has taken charge of this book, and as you all should know, Scott Liddell's not my favorite writer. I mean, just the way he writes Superman, it sometimes doesn't feel like Superman. But in here, we have what the book says, action. And that's what we get here. Now, this big old creature that's basically just like a Galactus and going and destroying universes. Well, Superman gets in a little tussle with some aliens, and they come to find out that they're here to do good and destroy this galactic type of creature that's going to go and destroy the planet. Now, if this storyline sounds dull and unoriginal, that's because it is. There's so many tropes in here that I was just reading, I was just going through the pages, I was like, the artwork may be beautiful, but the storytelling and the direction that the book is going is very bland and unoriginal. There's even a point in here where Superman gets blasted with this ray and he falls down to the moon, I guess, and one of the female characters goes, "Oh, I'll go and check on, see how Superman's doing." And as she gets there, she tells a story about how the creature was created. And I was just like, really, woman? Are you telling me that you would tell the whole backstory of this creature as this battle's going on? I mean, this is such a comic trope that I was just thinking to myself, does Scott Liddell even really care about this issue? And how long is he going to be on it? I just feel that this Action Comics as a whole, since Grant Morrison left, it just has been going on a downward spiral and just doesn't have a writer to take control of the series and do something special with it. So at this point, people, I would kind of say stay away from Action Comics, stay away from Superman, go look at Superman Unchained and Batman Superman. Those two right there are freaking awesome. But Action Comics issue number 23, it just wasn't there for me. I just felt like there was just too many tropes in here that us as comic book fans have seen before. So spend your money elsewhere. This book's $3.99. Go and spend on something else, because this book right here just doesn't have the foundation behind it to make it original. So in the end, Action Comics issue number 23 gets a 2 out of 5. I mean, the artwork in here is absolutely beautiful. That's the reason why it gets a 2. But just Scott Liddell's writing it just didn't do anything for me. So in the end, Action Comics issue number 23, a 2 out of 5. The last book that we're reviewing for this video is a Trinity War tie-in, and that is none other than Phantom Stranger issue number 11. Now, I can easily say that this is a really big surprise that this book has made it to issue number 11. I assumed right when it first started under Dan DiDio that the book wouldn't even last 6 issues. But Dan DiDio left the book, and since then, the book has became pretty awesome. Now in here, Phantom Stranger went to Batman and said, let's go in and look at what happened with Dr. Light. Now, in the Trinity War that's happening in DC Comics, Superman did the one unthinkable thing. He killed somebody. And the person he killed is Dr. Light. Now in this issue, Phantom Stranger wants to take Batman and Katana, and Deadman to heaven. Now, with this book, with Phantom Stranger, now DC Comics has not said officially, but Phantom Stranger is Judas. So I thought it was interesting to see that DC Comics is kind of taking more of a, what is the heaven in their universe? And it gets explained very well in here. Now, the heaven in DC universe is that everybody's right. There's so many different earths or heavens that, whatever you believe in will happen. And so, in this book, we have our heroes going in and trying to find Dr. Light. I absolutely love the visuals in here. The visuals from Fernando Blanc is freaking beautiful here. There's different points in here where the souls that are left in heaven, that haven't actually gone into heaven, are more like wraiths, and they're trying to suck the souls out of our heroes. And to see what happens when they're sucking the souls out of our heroes is awesome. I mean, it kind of had this feel of like Supernatural, where things are not as they appear. The style of this book was unmatched. I mean, this book has so much personality. The only downside is that, as it says right at the beginning, where it says notes from the editor saying, don't read this if you haven't read issue number 2 of the Trinity War, or issue number 3 in Justice League Dark, because you won't get what's going on. And that's actually quite true. Because at the point when I got this issue, I had not read issue part 2 or part 3 of Trinity War. So I just saw that and I was like, okay, I'll just hold it off until I actually go on to Comixology and read those issues that I missed. And I'm so glad I did, because I would have been totally lost. So a new reader coming into this book will be totally lost. But if you take the time, read Trinity War, it's only in part 3, you're in for a really good time with this tie-in. I mean, like the Pandora tie-in that happened last week didn't really have weight into like the whole entire story, but this one, it felt really contact and a part of the bigger story that's being told here. So if you're in for Trinity War, don't miss this tie-in. it's definitely worth it, and it's only $2.99. So in the end, I'm gonna give Phantom Stranger issue number 11 a 4 out of 5. Go and pick it up and try it out.